Russia has announced the first official coronavirus vaccine just in time for President Trump's re-election. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Russian announcement, how it relates to Operation Warp Speed, which is the United States' own vaccine program, and why Joe Biden's entire presidential campaign has, in effect, been completely and totally thwarted. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you as always. If this is your first time here with us and you're looking for some daily encouragement and optimism, as well as some analysis to help you make sense of these crazy times we're living in, you've found your oasis in this channel. We post 2 videos a day analyzing current events, analyze some super awesome conservative trends so you can learn to live in the present in light of even better things to come. We help you to think better so you can feel better. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure you smack that bell and subscribe button. It'd be an absolute privilege to have you as a regular part of this channel, where each and every day we together celebrate the inevitable collapse of left-wing globalism and the unstoppable rise of a new conservative age. Let's start with our video chat question of the day. This should make for some interesting reading. Would you be willing to try out the new Russian coronavirus vaccine? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Are you inclined to give it a try, this new Russian vaccine? Let us know in the comments section below, because, we're going to find out why it is that regardless of whether anybody wants to try it or not, the mere talk of a vaccine is enough to thwart Biden's entire campaign strategy. Stay tuned. But first, let's give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that's our good friends over at BioTrust. With our rapid advances in science over the years, there are much more powerful and effective ways to boost your immune system than just taking, mega doses of vitamin C. In fact, our sponsors over at BioTrust have combined 4 of the world's best immune-supporting powerhouses, along with that mega dose of vitamin C, into their #1 immunity support product, Ageless Body. Simply put, Ageless Body provides you 5 of the most powerful immune support ingredients available. I take it every day, and I love it. And if you click on that link below today, you can now get Ageless Body at their lowest price ever, up to 51% off. You heard that right, with free U.S. shipping to boot. So don't wait. Click on that link below or go to agewithsteveturley.com and give your immune system an awesome boost today. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. Right on cue, Russia is once again interfering with an American election. This time by announcing the first successful coronavirus vaccine just in time for Trump's re-election. That's right. President Vladimir Putin has indeed announced the approval of a coronavirus vaccine, making it the world's first official vaccine available to treat COVID-19. Putin announced, and I quote, "A vaccine against coronavirus has been registered for the first time in the world this morning. I know that it works quite effectively. It forms a stable immunity," close quote. In fact, according to President Putin, his own daughter has already been inoculated with it. But as it turns out, she is one of the relatively few. Scientists in the United States and Europe are warning that administering the vaccine before phase 3 trials, which involve several months of trial inoculations of usually several thousand people, is not safe and could backfire. But regardless, at a government meeting earlier today, Putin accounted that the vaccine has undergone proper testing, that it is indeed safe, and that it will now be ready for mass voluntary vaccination. Now, why is this important? Why is this announcement so significant? Well, the upshot is because it puts the whole perception of a vaccine-related security front and center before the American voting population. White House spokesperson Kellyanne Conway was on Fox News this morning, and she was pointing out that this Russian vaccine is actually not as far advanced as the United States vaccine, or I should say vaccines. We have 6 different vaccine candidates going into phase 3. The president's getting a vaccine update today at the White House, which he should be announcing sometime today. And that would include what's being called Operation Warp Speed, which has just been an incredible success. NIH Director Collins, who's been there for decades, has never seen anything like this come together so quickly and successfully. And again, this according to Kellyanne Conway, they believe they could have hundreds of millions of doses in the next few months alone. And so, what is all of this vaccine talk doing? Well, all you have to do is look at the markets of this morning. And as Russia's announcement has come out, the news has global stock markets surging throughout the globe. Overseas markets are up 2%. The Dow Jones futures are up more than 1%. As of the filming of this video, the S&P 500 is up as well. And as Barron's notes, it's hard to underestimate the importance of vaccine just conceptually. Most would argue it's not so much a matter of the objective efficacy of the vaccine. It's more the perception, which involves a sense that we're finally getting this virus under control, right? That's the perception. And there's no question that the markets are very happy with this announcement from Russia, which they believe at least partially fulfills that perception. We have to remember, too, that we've just set a new record, a very interesting one. We've just experienced the shortest bear market in history, a mere 5 months from a fall to its lowest point to now it's recovering and reaching its highest point. We've never seen this before. Again, it's another landmark in the course of Trump's presidency, and he's had several. We'll need to do a video on that alone. As things are playing out, the bear market, which is a 20% drop, right, from the most recent highs. That's the definition of bear market. It hit investors with a massive March sell-off. It's sparked by fears of pandemic. But by April, just over a month later, the S&P 500 had already rebounded by 20%, putting it on track for a new bull market. And the market has continued to rally since then, up by about 4% this year. So we're seeing nothing less, actually, than a new record. The shortest bear market in history. Now, this is not what the Democrats wanted to wake up to this morning. This was supposed to be their week. They're 2 weeks. Biden's going to announce his new running mate, right? What we know to be a black woman, because he needs to appease to the rising ethnocentric wing of the Democratic Party, which has declared war on the old white liberal establishment. That's precisely what we're seeing in Seattle as of today, which we'll be talking about in our next video today. The current civil unrest going on in our nation's cities is not the left versus the right, but rather the left versus the left. It's the new BLM Antifa left versus the old left, the old white liberal guard made up of people like Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi and Chucky Schumer and the like. Biden is doing his best to appease this increasingly ethnocentric wing of the Democrat Party. And this VP or running mate choice has to therefore be a black woman. She has to be. So this was supposed to be his week where the mainstream Marxist media can officially coronate him as a standard bearer of leftist globalism going off into their convention next week. And then Russia has to come in and ruin it. Russia has to go and announce a new vaccine, which in turn puts the Trump administration's efforts at securing a vaccine among 6 possible candidates front and center of the national consciousness. And we have to appreciate just how damaging this is to the Biden campaign. Biden's campaign has had a twofold strategy, right? Besides hiding Biden in the basement. Besides that, the campaign is set on hitting Trump on his handling of the coronavirus on the one hand and the current state of the economy on the other. And up until this point, Trump was certainly vulnerable on both fronts, more so with regard to his handling of the coronavirus. After hitting a high of 60% approval for his handling, according to Gallup, those approval numbers dropped pretty dramatically over the last few months as the cases kept going up and up and up, as well as the death toll and the like, and his fights with the media. And so that made political veterans like Dick Morris very nervous. He came out and said bluntly that Trump can't win with 70,000 new COVID cases a day. And this is largely because the Democrats are all in with the virus, right, for their election strategy. So they've teamed up with the mainstream Marxist media, particularly CNN, to push nothing but this coronavirus panic. It's pandemic panic front and center. Nothing else matters. The coronavirus is spiraling out of control. It's all Trump's fault. And the only way to protect you and your loved ones is to vote for Biden. But you see, all this talk of a vaccine, All of this talk of a new vaccine actually nukes the Democrat strategy. They threw all their eggs more or less in a twofold basket, right? Coronavirus and the economy. And now with all the talk of the vaccine, that puts a huge hole in the coronavirus portion of the basket, which in turn, as you know, ends up putting a massive hole in the economy side of the basket, as we're seeing with today's surge in the global markets. Which news of a vaccine, it comes with a surge in the market. Surge in the market, then comes consumer confidence. And with consumer confidence comes economic growth and falling unemployment, which, again, we have already been seeing. The jobs reports for July are out. And once again, second, third month in a row, U.S. employers are adding another 2 million jobs to the U.S. economy. So what we could see with Russia's announcement today is indeed another example of Russian interference to get Trump elected. The announcement of a vaccine is effectively destroying the Biden campaign. It's taking away the two major issues that he staked his entire election on, the pandemic and the economy. But do not worry. All is not lost for Biden. With his pick of a black woman for his running mate, I'm sure he'll be able to pivot to the same old identity politics that worked so well for Hillary in 2016. Now, before you go, make sure to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. And make sure to check out my latest video I just uploaded on Democrat-ruined Chicago absolutely imploding as rioting and looting erupt throughout the far left city. You're not going to want to miss it. Make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.